welcome everyone to another video on my channel. My name is Denis and today I'm going to show you a wildcard draft and a free draft for Game Week 2 of Fantasy Premier League. Now, if you enjoy my content, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button, but now let's get into it. Okay, now as I said before, today I want to show you a free draft and a wildcard draft for Game Week 2. Obviously, for those of you who are interested in using any chips, and I think that is going to be helpful even if you're not going to use any chip in Game Week 2, because now on the screen you can see a free draft I prepared for you, and you can see obviously my opinion on which players are going to score a lot of points in Game Week 2, hopefully for you. Now I want to say some things about the free. If you build your squad from Game Week 1, if you prepared knowing that you're going to use your free in Game Week 2, then that's amazing. If you didn't prepare and if you have a good team, I just don't see a reason to use your free. But again, I'm going to talk a little bit about the main topic. Why would you want to use your free in Game Week 2? The main reason is that Arsenal is going to play against Leeds at home. So the main reason here is to bring a lot of players from Arsenal. Obviously, when you're building your free, you want to have some core players, and obviously you want to target the fixtures, and maybe you want to go a little bit different from the crowd. So yeah, let's have some fun with this chip. Now, as you can see here, I've gone with double Arsenal attack with Bukayo Saka and Gyökeres, and I have also Gabriel in defense. I think that it is perfectly fine if you want to go for someone like Gabriel and Saliba and just someone like Saka in midfield. I think that's perfectly fine. In this draft, I really want to attack the fixtures. As you can see here, I have Haaland, Gyökeres and Watkins. I think that these are really three good forwards who all have great fixtures. And again, with Gyökeres, maybe you have some doubts about him because he didn't play a lot of minutes. He played 60 or 70 minutes in Game Week 1, and again, there are some doubts about him. Now Havertz is injured and probably Gyökeres is going to get more minutes, but I just don't think that's necessary. What's going to happen. I just don't think that suddenly Gyökeres is going to play 90 minutes just because Havertz got injured, but it could happen, and definitely it boosts a little bit Gyökeres minutes, so that's why I've gone with him. Probably he's also going to be on penalties, so I think that if you're using your free in Game Week 2, you just have to go with Gyökeres, but obviously that depends on your opinion. Also, now if we talk a little bit about the defense, it's Sanchez and Dubravka. There are other goalkeepers if you want, goalkeepers from Bournemouth, goalkeepers from Crystal Palace, someone like Henderson, someone like Raya. Again, you could go for someone like Raya and Gabriel, double up on Arsenal's defense, but I think that Sanchez is a perfectly fine option. In goal, you have some coverage from Chelsea also. So again, you can go different ways here, but let's talk a little bit about the picks. So I picked Gabriel. No need to discuss too much about him. Really good fixture. Chances of a clean sheet are huge, and Arsenal are the best defense in the Premier League. I've gone with Munoz because of the attacking threat. Crystal Palace are also defending amazing. A really decent fixture against Nottingham Forest at home. And also here I picked Trafford from Bournemouth. Here you could go for someone like Senesi if you want. He's also amazing for defensive contributions, but I just gone here on my free with Trafford, a more attacking defender. Let's just say it like that. And in midfield, again, if you're free in Game Week 2, I just think that you need to go with Bukayo Saka. He has the best fixture, and probably I would also captain him. But again, if you want to captain someone like Haaland, it's perfectly fine. I think that it's not such a big difference between Saka and Haaland, but I would go probably with Bukayo Saka on my free. Semenyo, so a lot of players from Bournemouth, as you may know, they're going to play against Wolverhampton at home. A really nice fixture. Semenyo is a great option. Reinders, obviously he's just a budget option. He's going to play against Spurs at home, so not the best fixture for someone like Reinders, but at that price you don't have a lot of other options. On my bench, as you can see, I have just bench folders, but they are pretty decent players, to be honest with you. Dubravka, Esteve, Reinildo and King, all these players are going to play, but hopefully you're not going to need your bench on the free. And also here I've gone with 8 million midfielder. I've gone with someone like Cunha. Again, Manchester United Arsenal, in that game I just thought that Cunha is going to be a better pick than someone like Mbeumo. Again, here you can go for someone like Rodgers. You can go with other midfielders if you don't want to take that punt on Cunha, but I just thought that Manchester United played really great against Arsenal. Although Fulham are not a bad defense, and also they are going to play at home, but I just thought that Manchester United looked great attacking wise against Arsenal, although they didn't score any goals. So again, I really like the punt on someone like Cunha. So yeah, you can make obviously some changes if you want. You can have someone like Palmer if you want, just by downgrading someone like Watkins. You can have someone like Cucurella instead of Sanchez. So there are different options. You can go on the free, but I would advise you to just go with your gut feeling and try to pick the players you really want to have into your team and have some fun also. Now let's move and let me show you my wildcard draft. Okay, now moving to the next part, I want to show you my wildcard draft for Game Week 2. Now before talking about the players and about the team structure, I just want to say some things. I know that a lot of people are frustrated at the moment about their Game Week 1 ranks obviously and points and performances, but it is just Game Week 1, guys. Try to not overreact too much. And I will just say it. I think that in most cases, if you prepared enough for Game Week 1, your team is not going to need a wildcard in Game Week 2. So I don't recommend to anyone, if you don't have any major problems into your team, to use your wildcard in Game Week 2. But here we are. If you really want to use your wildcard in Game Week 2, I tried to put up a draft with just the little information we know so far, just one game week. And this is the Fantasy Football Hub app. If you don't know already, guys, as you can see, my team is rated 97%. You can have also your team rated for free on this app. And if you enjoy it, if it's going to help you, they have a really big discount at the moment, 50%. And also, if you're going to buy a membership and if you're not going to win your mini league, they are going to give your money back. So that's really great. The links are in my description. But now let's talk a little bit about this team. As you can see, my goalkeeper are Sanchez and Dubravka. I think that this is a really strong option. Now again, not a lot of things changed from Game Week 1. So Dubravka obviously is going to be in any wildcard draft because he's just 4 million and he's a playing goalkeeper. Now Sanchez, again, the fixtures are decent for Chelsea. I think that they are a decent defense and they are going to keep a lot of clean sheets in the future. And although Sanchez maybe is not the best goalkeeper, I think that at the moment he's nailed. If we talk a little bit about the defense, Munoz, Senesi, Esteve, Van de Ven and Dorgu. I'm going to show you in a minute how this team is going to look like in Game Week 3, 4 and 5. So don't worry about that, guys. But why I picked obviously Munoz is because a lot of people picked Pedro Porro in Game Week 1, mostly because of that fixture against Burnley at home. Now I think that Munoz is going to have decent fixtures, as you can see from the screen: Forest, Aston Villa, Sunderland. In the long term, obviously he's the most attacking defender in the game, so I think that he's a decent option. If you really want to go for someone like Pedro Porro, the fixtures are going to be great after Game Week 2, because in Game Week 2 they are going to play against Manchester City. So here I've gone with someone like Van de Ven, a much cheaper option. Senesi from Bournemouth, the fixtures are decent long term. He's great for defensive contributions and he also have a little bit of an attacking threat. And also here I'm starting Esteve, a 4 million defender who's going to play against Sunderland. So again, at the 4 million defenders you need to take your pick, someone like Goodmanson, someone like Rodon, someone like Reinildo. It really depends which one you prefer, and obviously you want your defenders to rotate well. So for an example, Munoz, you can play him every game week. And again, what I want to also say here about my wildcard draft, maybe some problems here is that you don't have any Arsenal players. They are going to play against Leeds in Game Week 2, so definitely I would want to have some players from Arsenal for Game Week 2, but the fixtures until Game Week 7 are not amazing for Arsenal, so that's why you don't see any. And obviously if you want to go for someone like Gabriel, you can do that by downgrading some players. Also I have 0.4 millions in the bank, so if you want to upgrade someone like Munoz to Gabriel, you can do that and just play Gabriel every gaming, because again Arsenal are going to keep a lot of clean sheets this season. If we talk a little bit about the midfield, the key thing about this draft is, as you can see, I have also Mohamed Salah and also Erling Haaland. Now I'm not sure 100% if that's the way to go forward, but the problem is I really want to have Mohamed Salah against Burnley in Game Week 4, and also I want to have Erling Haaland against Burnley in Game Week 6. So it is really interesting to see what you can do with your wildcard in Game Week 2, because again, definitely I'm not sure if this is the best structure to go for the future, but at least for the short term I think that it's fine to have both of them. And obviously at the moment you can pick players like Reinders and Anderson, who are two of the best midfielders priced at 5.5 million. So again, if you don't want to do that, you can go with just Erling Haaland. Probably I would do that because the fixtures are not amazing for Mohamed Salah in the next two game weeks, Newcastle and Arsenal. So if you don't want to go with both of them, I would just go with Haaland probably. And yeah, if you want to add in someone like Palmer, someone like Bukayo Saka, that's also an option. But I just think that you can have them all, so you need to pick something. And as you can see here, I picked someone like Watkins. Now this is what I wanted to discuss. I don't have Gyökeres, but I have someone like Watkins. So if you really prefer someone like Gyökeres, you can just have him. He's the same price as Watkins, but I just think that the fixtures are better overall for Aston Villa in the next 3, 4, 5 game weeks, and it is really easy for you to swap Watkins to someone like Gyökeres if you want to do that, obviously, in the future. Also here you have Semenyo. I would go with him 100% on the wildcard with a great fixture in game week 2 and also decent fixtures long term. And also here I have Mateta. Now while we're speaking, Eze is going to be an Arsenal player. So Crystal Palace lost one of the most creative players from their teams. We don't know exactly the moment how much that's going to impact Crystal Palace, but Mateta for sure now is going to be on penalties, and at 7.5 millions I think that he's a nice option. Again, if you want to go different, you can go for someone like João Pedro, you can go for someone like Strand Larsen, or you can easily go for someone like Chris Wood if you think that he's going to keep scoring 2 goals every game week. Now, on my bench, another thing important about this draft is that I don't have a 4.5 million forward in Guyu, because at the moment he's not looking like he's going to get a lot of minutes. So I just picked this formation 3-4-3 with a 4.5 million midfielder King, who at least at the moment is getting some minutes for Fulham. But again, I would not try to rely on that 4.5 million midfielder. So yeah, I think that I talked a little bit about all these players. And also here I have Dorgu because just because he rotates well with someone like Senesi and someone like Van de Ven. If we move right now to game week 3, I just want to show you how this team is going to look like for the future, because yeah, it's an important thing to take into consideration when you're building your wildcard. So here you can play a defense of Dorgu, Van de Ven and Munoz. Senesi and Stevie have a difficult fixture, as you can see here, but Dorgu, Burnley, Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Salah, Semenyo, Anderson, Reinders, Haaland, Watkins, Mateta. The team looks fine to me. If we move to game week 4, here your defenders are going to be Munoz against Sunderland, Senesi against Brighton, Van de Ven against West Ham away, and again Esteve, Dorgu with 2 tough fixtures. So that's what I'm talking about. You just try to find those defenders who are going to rotate well, and then you're going to be fine, because obviously these defenders are not going to keep clean sheets every game, so it really depends how you're feeling about their fixtures. Here, for an example, I would play someone like Van de Ven probably instead of Esteve, and you have Munoz against West Ham, Van de Ven against Brighton, and Senesi against Newcastle. Not the best fixture, to be honest with you there. If we move to game week 6, Van de Ven, Wolverhampton, Munoz, Liverpool, Senesi, Leeds. Now here you can play someone like Dorgu against Brentford instead of someone like Munoz, but again, that's you to decide. Here you have also Reinders, Haaland against Burnley. Overall, I think that this is a strong wildcard draft for game week 2. Obviously, you can make some changes if you want. As I said before, you can downgrade someone like Watkins to someone like Wood, for an example, and you can sell someone like Senesi to Gabriel, and also you will have 0.3 million still in the bank. So obviously you can do a lot of different things if you want to. You can have someone like Rogers. There are a lot of good options at the moment, but this is how at the moment I think my wildcard draft would look like for game week 2. But obviously, guys, I'm not going to use my wildcard in game week 2, so don't take my words for granted. I didn't think that much about how a wildcard would look like in game week 2, like someone who is going to use it in game week 2. So thank you so much for watching this video this long. Hopefully it's going to be helpful for you, and if you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, and I'm going to see you tomorrow on my deadline stream.